Hello, my beautiful souls, and welcome to a new live video here with me. I'm gonna start a new series right now here on Instagram, and I am sharing this out loud to commit to you, to myself, for me, for you, for us, as my amazing mentor Melanie and Layer is saying. I'm going through this very deep process right now, and maybe you can even can tell on my voice that it's not my normal regular voice. I started this Rebirth breathwork today training level 1, and today was my 6th breathwork that I did, and I want to continue showing up during this process, first and foremost for myself, then for you, for this beautiful energy of my business. And I want to break a pattern of when I go through a healing process, when I go through a training, when I go to a retreat, when I go through challenging times, I want to break the pattern that I have been telling myself that I am not able, or I don't have the capacity or the energy to show up in my business. And that's why I am committing right now to you that for this next week or so, I'm gonna come and do a live video every single day where I'm gonna share with you how my process in the breathwork has been, what I have been learning, what has been coming up. And if you feel pulled to this, that means there is something for you to hear from this process. And this rebirth breathwork, oh my God, it's, I would say, the most profound tool I have found so far on my journey. And I have been on my personal development, spiritual healing journey since 2017. And I can tell you that I have tried everything that came my way. So nice to meet you. So nice to meet you. But this breath work that I'm doing here right now in India, in Rishikesh, is something else. And I'm gonna just explain only in this video a little bit how the process is, so you get an understanding of what's happening, super short. And what is happening 1 hour, pretty much you just breathe. You don't stop. So it's a very intense process. It starts with breathing very powerful through your nose, and a passive exhale. So that's like the first step for like 15 minutes max. And then the second step is that you inhale deeply through your mouth and exhale passively through your mouth. And then you do that for around 45 minutes. And oh my God, what has been coming up in these breath works? Wow, it's insane, because it's a lot of releasing. That's what, especially this breath work, it goes like super, super deep. Yeah, breathing. And it's just so fascinating what we can do with our own breathing. So I'm gonna share every single day what is the main theme of what has come up, if anything at all. Yes, because every single time when I have done this breath work, something different, something else has come up. And I went from like screaming super loud and crying a lot, and to having almost like an orgasmic experience in another session. So it's truly different each and every time. And today, the main theme that was present in the breath work, it was self-forgiveness. And I know that so many of us need this. And that's why this was actually this process that I'm doing right now, sharing. Yes, breathing exercise is good for mind relaxing. Yes, and it's a somatic practice. Now it's a somatic, like you really get to the root of your traumas, and you get to release things that probably you're not even aware of. So today was the self-forgiveness day. That's what came up a lot in my breath work. And it was so strong because one thing that I've realized I still haven't been fully able to overcome is forgiving myself for not being able to save, quote unquote, my life partner, who, if you have been following my journey, you know that my life partner transitioned on the other side like 2.5 years ago from a cancer journey. And I did everything, like everything I could to save him. And of course, that was not in my power because it's not in our control how the outcome is going to be in general, and especially when it's another person involved. And I've realized that I still haven't forgave myself fully for not being able to save him. And I want to give this to you as a reflection. Thank you, Sana. I want to recommend this to you also as a reflection, and really take a look of some of your experiences that you've had throughout your life and see where you still haven't forgave yourself. And truly, what we have to remember is that in the past, at that time, we truly have done the best we could. That's it, with our awareness at that time, with the tools we had at that time. And I would say the self-forgiveness, it's like the foundation, it's the base in order for us to live more freely. Because isn't it what we all desire, to live free of the past, free of the traumas, free of regrets? So I would also recommend here a beautiful, amazing exercise that I have done more at the beginning of my journey. It's a mirror exercise actually from Lisa Nichols, and just go on YouTube, search Lisa Nichols mirror exercise, and you're going to find it. It's like a 5-minute exercise, but then it comes the work and the commitment to it. And I highly encourage you to actually do it for 30 days. That's the time that I have done it in the past, and it was transformational. And if I can recall, this exercise is pretty much 7 things you forgive yourself for, 7 things you appreciate about yourself, and 7 things you commit towards. And then the first time when you do it, you're just gonna write it down, and then you look into the mirror and you look like deeply into your eyes, and you connect with your soul, you connect with yourself, and you say your name. So for me, for example, it would be, Andrea, I forgive you for blah blah blah, whatever you feel that there is still some residual things within yourself that you need to forgive yourself for. And then you say the 7 different things. And I'm doing amazing. I'm actually so tired from a full day on training, but I'm amazing. So then you start with what you forgive yourself. Then you start with the second step, which is what you are proud of what you have done, what you have achieved. And then what is it that you commit towards? And I highly encourage you to just start with small things, okay? Especially when it comes to the commitment. Because if you are like me, an overachiever, then you're gonna commit to way more things than what you have the capacity in that moment to do. And then you're gonna get disappointed, and then you don't trust yourself, and then you go into this cycle. So really find small commitments. This is what I encourage you here. And it can be, I commit that today I'm going to tell myself, I love you 3 times. I commit that I'm going to go for a walk. I commit that I'm going to message my mom and tell her I miss her and I love her. And yeah, it's like this exercise, I'm telling you, it's so, so powerful. Like, when I started doing this exercise, and like from the first phrase or second phrase that I was saying and looking into my eyes, especially when it was the forgiveness part, I just like eyeballed, like I just started crying so badly. I'm like, oh my God, because in general, we are not used to it, to tell ourselves those things, to connect with ourselves at that depth, at that level. And it's truly transformational. Lisa Nichols, if you have heard about her, she's bragging about how this exercise actually helped her get out of depression. So it's very powerful. And I also encourage you, if you're gonna find and go and commit to do this exercise for yourself and for your healing, find an accountability partner, okay? Find an accountability partner, and you're like, okay, I'm committing to do this for 30 days, as I have done it as well in the past. And when you have an accountability partner, it's so much easier to go through and to like keep yourself accountable, because it's like we we tend to keep ourselves accountable when we say it to someone else, like 70-80% higher. That's why working with a mentor, working with a coach is so powerful, because you go just from ideas. Yeah, you're like not forgiving yourself, and majority of us, and we are not even aware of. So allow yourself to really go deep within and look, what are the things that you still haven't forgave yourself for. um and Yeah, this is the main thing that I wanted to share with you. And as I shared this whole process of, I was I was asking myself before I started this week of training of breath work, I was like, how can I continue showing up? How can I continue showing up for myself, for you, for us, in this space, while I'm still going through such a deep process? Because right now I'm exhausted. You might not tell, but I'm truly exhausted after a full day of being in that process. And this is what came through, Andrea. Just go and do a live video where you share about your process, and this is going to actually help and impact other people as well. So I'm showing up here for me and for you, and I'm just following the guidance and trusting what comes up and what comes through, and knowing that whoever is going to come and listen to this video, either live or recording, that is exactly what they need in this moment. And that's all I had to share from day one. It was mainly self forgiveness, and yeah, it was also acknowledging myself more. And thank you. And this can yes, and it's so true. We cannot forgive others if we have not forgave ourselves, because so many times we are critical and harsh with others, because that's just a reflection of how we are with ourselves. So it's so important for us to do that work for first and foremost, so we can be more kind and more compassionate with others as well. But we cannot give to others what we don't give to ourselves. That's why the work, it starts with self. And that's why I'm excited in the mastermind that I'm putting together right now for women to have better relationships with their partners. That's the first pillar. It's the connection with self, where we go very deep into these things. Because if we don't have that foundation, then if we put on top of that all the other work, it's just gonna fall short, and it's gonna fall very fast. And oh, thank you so much. Thank you, Sana. And the other thing that I'm just gonna share super fast, it was to remind myself how great I am doing. And this again, it's a mirror for you. I'm a reflection and a mirror for you right now if you're watching me. So it's, oh, like if you have this like critical self, which we all do, and judgmental, and it's like, oh, you could do more, you could do better, you could, like on and on and on. It's so important to stop, to pause, and to just take a look. Wait a second. Is it really true that I'm not doing good? Is it really true that I'm not doing enough? And then really question that, and then look for proof and show to yourself how you are doing so freaking amazing already, and start acknowledging yourself more. This is like what came up for me today. I'm like, wow, I feel like I acknowledge everyone and my clients, so much. And I'm like, yay, like cheering up everyone else around me, but not so much myself. So this also goes back to, how about we become first and foremost our best cheerleaders? Yes. So really, like, look at throughout the day, oh my God, what have I done good today? What have I done great today? What have I done amazing? And just like start like patting yourself on the back, and you're like, oh, you did so freaking amazing today. I'm so proud of you for showing up. I'm so proud of you for doing a post, for doing a live, for just saying I love you to someone, because we look so often for these huge and grandiose things that we think we have to do and achieve in order to acknowledge ourselves, in order to give ourselves credit, in order to celebrate ourselves, in order to be like, yeah, you actually did freaking amazing. We think we have to do all these like huge things, when in fact, how about we start looking on our everyday to day life? Because our day to day life, it's not made out of like these big things that we tend to see and compare with others, but it's made of small moments. So how about we look for those small moments where we have showed up, maybe fully, maybe a moment where you used to criticize yourself and you used to be harsh on yourself, and you're like, oh, actually I became aware of it, and I gave myself love in that moment. I loved myself in that moment. That's a huge thing to celebrate. And you are saying, Sana, that when you are harsh on yourself, you are taking a break. And you said that, yeah, so beautiful, because the change, it all starts with the self-awareness. We have to become aware of it, and then really ask ourselves, would I talk in that way with my best friend? If you have a child, would I talk in that way with my child? Probably not, because we are our worst critics, and that's the truth. And when we are harsh with ourselves, we go and we are harsh with the world, with everyone else. And this is a big thing that was also pointed out to me through my journey, by my family and by my friends, because I used to be like very harsh and very critical, with everyone around me. And of course, it's unconscious. It doesn't happen that, oh, I want to be critical, and you go out into the world and you're like, I'm just going to go and criticize everyone. No, like, these things are unconscious. And the way to overcome them is by doing our own healing, by learning how to love ourselves more. And recently, one of my friends was telling me that, wow, one of the biggest change I see within you, like in our interaction and how I see that you interact with the world, is that you are so much more softer, and that you are not as harsh and as critical as you used to be. And I was like, wow, yeah, so true. Because as I said, I used to be very harsh on myself, very critical, and always striving to do more and to do better and to prove myself. And I think majority of us go through these kind of cycles, no, until we have learned that we have nothing to prove, and we are just perfect, just as we are in our being state, like who you are being. You are just pure love. And many times when we show up into the world and we are harsh and critical and judgmental, it's because we still have a lot of wounds. So we come from that wounded state. And if you go out and you interact with people in that way, and maybe they gonna judge or they gonna tell you a harsh word or something, always remember that it has nothing to do with you, and that is their projection. It's what is going on inside of them. So see if can you meet them with love and compassion, knowing that probably you even heard this saying that hurt people hurt people. And how can we show up in the world with other people with more love and compassion? And the way to do that is by giving that first to ourselves. So I want to invite you to go today and see how can you give more love and compassion towards yourself. And if you haven't listened to this video from the beginning, go and listen. I'm gonna end up soon to see what exercise I shared with you for forgiveness, because this is the message from today. Self-forgiveness, that's the theme. And stay tuned, because my promise to me and to you is that I'm gonna show up live every single day. I don't know what time, because my training ends at different times every day. But I'm going to show up every single day, and I'm going to share with you my journey about this rebirth breath work, which I know is going to transform my life, and is going to transform every life that I'm going to meet and interact with. So join me tomorrow live again. Not sure what time, probably at night again, because right now it's 10 p.m. for me. And let's see what comes up tomorrow. We shall find out on day 2. Thank you for being here. And yes, if you're looking for live session, send me a DM, Sana, because I'm doing right now also live coaching on my podcast. So I can send you the application if that's something you're interested in. And I'm going to continue showing up live for the next 5 more days, 6 more days, how long the training is, and share every single day about my experience. That's my promise here. Doesn't matter how tired or what process I go through, I'm going to show up. I promise you. Thank you for joining me. Sounds good, Sana. Send me a DM, okay? Thank you for joining me. I will see you tomorrow. I love you. I appreciate you. And I believe in you deeply and completely. See you tomorrow.